Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be going over the Back to the Future Advent Calendar, the first one that came out. This has already been opened, so we're just going to go over what was in the pack. So, it comes with the courthouse backdrop. That's the coolest part of it, really. It's cardboard, or is that more like a poster board, really. But it has a lot of accessories too. You get like a different item each day, and we'll look at what you got each day of the Advent calendar. I'm just going to move this aside for a few minutes. Came with a little setup with the fire trail and the road and all that stuff. And this is actually the Doc Brown from the 2-pack I went over earlier. But I believe there's one of these just like it in this pack. So we'll go over all that. So first of all, let's look at our pamphlet. Let's look at the box first. So if you look at the box, it shows you pretty much what's in it. That picture kind of sums it all up. And there's the front of the box. And Playmobil has set numbers like the Legos do. And this set number is 70574, 97 pieces. There's the bottom of the box and the sides. And then on the back it shows you what you get on each day. So it has a little ventricular effect picture. And this is what you get on each day. That's what the inside of the calendar looks like. It's actually you open it up, you get the clock tower right off. And then you get this, which you open each day and get a new piece. That shows the first two sets right there, which I've already reviewed, so check that out on my other videos on my channel. And you just open up a new section each day, and there's a little plastic thing in here, a little tray in there. It's got all the pieces. It's set up pretty much the same as that Droid Factory Advent calendar I did day by day this year. You can check those videos out also. This one is glued, so you'd have to break the glue to get it open, but you could take that tray out and reload it. But it's not as nice as that Droid Factory one. It's just kind of a piece of cardboard. It does have a seam, but it's not as elaborate as that Droid Factory scene was. It's mostly just the numbers. And that's just in there like that with the flat clock tower that you have to kind of piece together. I'll show you that in a minute. So you get the clock tower as a backdrop right off the bat, and then you get these other pieces to add to it. So let's look at the pamphlet. Let's look at this first. This is that little ventricular card. It looks like his siblings are being erased from existence as you turn it. That's kind of cool. Erased from existence. And let's see, it has that on the back. Okay, and then this is the pamphlet that came with it. It's just a little piece of paper. It says technical information. And it shows how to fold the tabs and stuff to make it hold together. And how you have to kind of bend them to get them to go through the slots and then fold them back out. This, if I remember right, it's been a couple of years since I put this together, but it was a little hard to get it to piece together right, and it wants to kind of warp a little bit. I had to put some tape. This part wants to keep sticking out like at an angle, so I had to put a little tape on the tabs on the back side. And I want to get just a little strip of foam board and put in here underneath the back side of this to make it kind of square out a little bit more. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. And Doc Brown's wanting to slide down his rope here. We'll just go ahead and do that and let him while we're got him there. So he can kind of shoot down there. This is not the sturdiest in the world, so I guess it popped out. But you can make him, he has a little thing he can hold on to that slides on that rope, so he can slide down there. There's a little lightning bolt you can stick on top there, and a weather vane. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. It shows pretty much the scene that's on the cover of the box, on the cover of this. And then this is the same thing that is in the other one I reviewed for the DeLorean. It has the same write-up, so I'm not going to read all that again. It has actual pictures over here. It's exactly the same as page 2 and 3 of that pamphlet. And then the next page, you get into the clock tower. It comes flat like that. There's two pieces to make it more three-dimensional. So you got this part, and that has tabs that stick into the other, and that makes it more three-dimensional. I'm going to just move all this stuff real quick and show you. Okay, so this will give you a better idea. This part here, this part sticks out from the, okay, this is part of this piece that folds and goes in that way. So you fold it here, and then that tabs into there. So really this is where the windows are. That's one piece, and then this other part sticks out further, and that's another piece. And that gives it like a three-dimensional look with the columns. So that's pretty cool. This part, to me, is my biggest gripe. Is that the way that tab has to stick out, it's obvious it's a tab, but that's just how it has to be, basically. And the other tricky part is the back. You have to bunch this part up together and fold it right there. And that part always wants to fold back out. So I put a piece of tape there to reinforce that. And then these tabs from the front stick in here, down in there, and I put some tape back here where you don't see it to hold those tabs in place. And as you can see, this part is the part that, if this was connected somehow, I think that would fix the problem of it wanting to be kind of unsquare. So that's why I'm going to get a little strip of styrofoam board, and I'm going to put a strip right there just to kind of square it up and tape it there, so that it'll stay in place and not want to do that number. But the rest of it holds together pretty good with the tabs, because you fold them to slide them through the holes, some of them, and then when you fold it back out, it holds it pretty good. And some of them just have the tabs like already where they hold it. So there's that. Get it squared up again. So we'll just go ahead and put that there as our backdrop. And this shows how to put it together. Shows how to fold it. And being cardboard, it's a little trickier than the other instructions. Sort of like those extreme sets I did. They don't really have words. So you have to kind of figure out what it's trying to tell you to do with arrows and stuff. So that's one reason it was a little tricky to put together. I probably spent, it's been over a year, but I'm going to say I spent about 45 minutes getting that just right. But I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. And you see there's several pages showing you how to make it all fit together and everything. So, okay, and then you get to your pieces here. So I'm going to skip ahead for a second because it also has every piece you get on the back in here that had on the back of the box. But on day one you get a 1985 Marty, and he's a little different than the one we got previously because he doesn't have the red vest, and he doesn't have he has sunglasses on. The other one didn't, and he has like a pin type deal. Those little enamel pins they used to wear in the 80s. Okay, on day two, you get the cuffs that go on his sleeves, and you get a guitar that you have to put together. So let me grab these and show them to you as we go over it, basically. So this is the Marty you get with this set, and there's the cuffs. They snap on these arms, so give it more of an 80s jacket kind of look. And then here's his guitar. So this is day two. You get the cuffs and the guitar. And then day three, you get this big speaker, and it has stickers you had to apply to it. So it came in two pieces. The front just kind of snaps on there, and then it's got like a frame basically. So this is a sticker, and this is a sticker, and it has like a old newspaper about Doc Brown's mansion being destroyed in a fire and all that. So it's kind of cool. And it has like, if you get in there really tight, you can see it says like, it has those label maker stickers and stuff that he had on the, where he labeled everything. So, and you can't even read that with the naked eye hardly, but you can kind of read it almost. Driver adjust. Okay, you can read it with the camera. It is really small. So that's day three. So that's sort of, by day three, you can set up a little scene basically. You got Marty with this guitar and that big amp. And it has a little thing back here that you can snap his hand onto to make it look like he's holding the guitar, right? So that's pretty cool. So there's day 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then on day 4, you get the weather vane. I'm gonna go up here so you can see. And it sticks into the top of the clock tower. And there's about 4 different pieces to that. 3, I guess. 3 or 4. Let's see. I think there's 4 pieces. I think this part is 1, and then you got something down here. And you got these 2 little things. So all together it looks like this. And that sticks into the top of the clock tower. And then on day 5, you get the street light, or you get 2 street lights. Let me move him over here. And that goes to down here. And they each have about 4 pieces. You got the stem, and then you got 3 balls. Well, you actually got this part too, so you got 5 pieces to each one. This goes on the bottom side to hold it in place. You can see it down in here. So that holds it on the bottom so they stand up. And then on day 6 we get Jennifer. Jennifer has some very rosy cheeks. But I guess it's supposed to make her look more 80s or something with the makeup or something with the eyelashes. I don't know. But you don't get the book and the purse yet. You get that the next day. So that's Jennifer. We'll set her there. Okay. So that's day 6. On day 7, you get her cuffs. So these little cuffs right here are actually snap-on like his are. And you get her books and her purse. So you can see that she's got one book in her hand and her purse. Her purse, it don't really hang on her shoulder, so they have it where she can hold it, but it looks like it's hanging on her shoulder pretty much. So that's pretty cool, the way they do that. It's just measured out just right, so it looks kind of like she's holding it on her shoulder. And then she has an extra book. And then on day 8, you get the park bench. So there it is. Got some writing on the bottom. And then you can set up your scene where he's talking to her out front of the clock tower where they gave him that pamphlet, and she wrote on the back of that pamphlet that said save the clock tower. So next thing we get is that pamphlet that says save the clock tower. And the cool thing about this is it actually has on the back where she wrote on it. If I can get this focus. So I thought that was a nice little touch. So you get that and his backpack on day 9. And the backpack you have to snap together, but I already got it on him. It's over here. So that's the backpack you get. Doc Brown. I'm going to stick this in his hand like she just gave it to him. Here we go. So it's pretty neat how you can recreate pretty much all the scenes when you get done with these. They're pretty inclusive with all this stuff. Then we have Doc Brown on day 10. Now, basically, what you get with him on day 10 is just this. Minus the watches. I'm not going to take those off right now. You don't get the watches on day 10. Then on day 11, you get the helmet. And that's all you get on day 11. And then on day 12, you get the 2 watches, the tool belt, and the plutonium canister that you have to piece together. 2 pieces to that. So we'll go ahead and apply those as they come out. Alright, so that's what you get by day 12. This comes in later, so we'll look at it later. Day 13 is a cool day. you get this Twin Pines Mall sign. But the cool thing about it is you have to piece it together. These are a piece, this is a piece. There's 4 pieces there, and then you got the sign. So it's 5 pieces plus 2 stickers. And on one side it's Twin Pines Mall. But if you want to flip it around at the end of the movie, it becomes the Lone Pine Mall. So you can have each version, so it's pretty cool. And then on day 14, let me grab all these. On day 14, you get the car tag, like when it falls off and he's holding it up. So it's where you can stick it in the hand so that he can like hold it up. So that's kind of a cool little thing, I thought. And then you also get Marty's camera. Well, I guess it's Doc Brown's camera technically, but he had Marty go by and pick it up for him. So you get the video camera. And then on day 15, you get a different version of Marty. You get him in his contamination suit, radiation suit, whatever you want to call it. But on day 16, you finish him up. You get the 2 cuffs again. And they have the radiation sign on it. And you get the helmet. So there they are together. We could have him holding the camera, I guess. I like the way the cameras, the way Playmobil measures things out work really good, because like with that purse I was talking about, the camera's really accurate too, because where he holds it, it goes right up to his eye where he's looking, looks like he's looking through the viewfinder, so that's pretty cool. So we're up to day 17. Day 17, you get a few little items. You get a hairdryer. You might be wondering why you get a hairdryer. There's a deleted scene in Back to the Future where Doc Brown's going through the stuff that he had in his luggage because he was going to go 30 years into the future to check it out. And he had brought a hairdryer. And that hairdryer is what Marty uses when he goes as Darth Vader to scare his dad into telling him he's Darth Vader or whatever. He has that outfit on. He says, "I'm Darth Vader," and he puts those headphones on him. And he has a blow dryer. And that's where that blow dryer comes from. The deleted scene. But it's actually included in this. So you have that. And you have this, which is, I think it's supposed to be a stopwatch. We have one with the original one, but it was black. The one that came with the DeLorean. So it just kind of hangs off there. And then you get this, which is the little magazine. It's supposed to look like a little magazine that little kid had where he shows his dad tells his dad it's a spaceman or whatever. And he looks like the thing on the cover. But it actually looks more like the cover of the George McFly book at the end, the one he wrote. Because I think the one on the kids magazine had something that looked more like the DeLorean on it. I'd have to look and see, but anyway, I'm gonna have Marty holding that for now. Okay, when you get to day 18, you get Biff. And you go ahead and get both of his cuffs and a collar, so you don't have to wait for another day to get the cuffs for him. But there he is. So that's day 18. 1955 Biff. They kind of gave him a little bit of a mohawk kind of thing. Thought that was kind of weird. He had like a flat top. So, I don't know. I guess maybe that was a hairdo they already had or something that he used, but that don't really say flat top to me, but I don't know. Anyway, so you get Biff, and we'll put him up here because he's 1955. So he don't really fit in these other scenes. And then on day 19, you get this Enchantment Under the Sea sign, and it has a little thing that props it up that you snap on the back, and then this is a sticker you stick on it, and that's advertising that dance they went to. And then on day 20, you get the, I'm going to go ahead and do 20 and 21 here together. You get the skateboard on the 20th. And it's the old wooden looking skateboard. You had to snap the wheels on, and it has that thing that you said you put there to make the feet stay on. For 21st, you get the 1955 Marty McFly. And you can make it just slide on there. So there's that. And then on day 22, you get the lightning bolt and that string that he slides down on that we looked at earlier. And here's the lightning bolt. It's kind of clear. And it just sits on top of there, basically. And then you get the string that has the, it already has a, when I took it out, it had a, it was in this little piece of paper. You pull it out, and it already had this knot with a little loop. Now, I almost undid that, and I was like, wait a second, maybe I shouldn't. So, turns out that little loop is just right to the way they got it. You can kind of pull it through and make it bigger, and you can put it on that vein up there. And then you can tighten it up. Just drop your excess down on the back side. I'll put this back up here. So that's the string. And he has that piece that goes on that string that he can hold on to make him slide down the rope. So you thread that through there. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, and then I told you get on day 12. Day 13, you get a few little items again. You get the gloves for Doc Brown. You don't get Doc Brown till the 24th. And then you get the letter that Marty left him. You got the envelope, and you got the actual letter. So we'll look at all that. So I'm just going to do a quick comparison here. One of these came with the 2-pack that I did a review on. And one of them came with this set. And they're almost identical, but there are some differences. The main differences I notice are the lapel. On this one, the buttons are on the lapels, and the lapels are a little bit wider. And on this one, the buttons are outside of the lapels. So this one's actually should be more accurate, because that's probably where the buttons would be. Also, this one has like a little loop at the top, like a zipper pull, where this one doesn't. But other than that, they're almost identical. Okay, I'll take it back. The coat on the one that comes with this set is longer in the back too. I think they're identical pretty much, except for this coat piece. that snaps on, I guess. And then that little circle right there, that little zipper pull, which is on the other part. But other than that, they're about identical. I like the one that came with the set better. I think it's more accurate, and it has a longer coat and everything. So this is the one that came with the little 2-pack. And so you get the gloves on the 23rd, and then you get this letter that Marty left Doc Brown. I don't know if I can get it focused enough where you can read it or not. And then this is the envelope. That one says do not open until 1985. And so he can hold these too. Like, what's the meaning of this? And then you could have him in his suit afterwards saying, well, I figured what the heck. So, or this could be a deleted scene from afterwards where he actually opens the letter. I don't know. We don't really know when he opened the letter, I don't guess. If he opened it immediately or if he thought about it for years and then kept it and then finally pieced it back together. So I always wondered about that. Okay, so on this advent calendar, it only went for 24 days. But also, okay. But it has some other things too that weren't on days that you opened. So this part right here, it was already like the courthouse background. It was already in the box too. I failed to mention that. So let's look at it real quick. You get the light pole, and you get this other light pole. It looks like it's got little transformers on top. And then you get the two pieces here. I have lost two of these. They're supposed to have two on each side to hold this in place. I actually found these the other day, and I'm like, what are those? So I guess they popped off. I didn't throw them away. When I come across them again, I'll put them back on there. But now that I know what it was I found. But you get this piece of cardboard, and then those little rubber things come up through here and then snap in there. So, and they don't stay snapped too good because they're rubber, so they don't snap like plastic would. So that's why they fall off easily. So just be careful with that. And then this light pole goes here, and then this one goes over here on this side, and then you have this cable, and it attaches. It's got little hooks, and it just attaches right there, and then this side attaches right there, and that's where your rope goes to. There's a little loop right here. Slide that right in there, and then the picture has it going to there and then up to this part. And I guess at that point you could tie a knot or something. I never did actually tie a knot. I just kind of wrapped it around, but so that I can move it around easily. So let me move all these over here and we'll show you that setup. You get a pretty good bit of stuff with this set though. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures with it. Plus all those accessories and stuff. So pretty good bit of stuff. You get the road with the fire trails, and you get the two, I guess, sidewalk pieces and the two lamp posts, the weather vane, the Twin Pine Mall sign. You get the amplifier. You get the Enchantment Under the Sea, the sign, and the bench, and those light posts on the side of the clock tower. The lightning bolt up there. You get the little letters and pamphlets and camcorder and purses. It's got a lot of stuff with it. And then this is where your DeLorean from the first set comes in, because it had this pole with it. And now the pole can do like in the movie and catch that as the lightning hits it. And then that pulls out and hangs there. I'll turn the little light feature on here. So he hits 88 miles an hour right as he hits that, right as the lightning hits it. And then he goes back in time, leaves the fire trail and the pole hanging there. And then Doc Brown comes, yeah. So it's a pretty good little set. And the good thing about Playmobil is stuff holds up pretty good for playing, for kids to actually play with them. So, I mean, you could actually just play out the whole movie scene pretty much. Some of the things, like I got the Ectomobile for a kid for a present, and I ended up super gluing a lot of the pieces in place because they're going to lose all those little pieces that's up on top of that car and stuff. But this one, most everything stays in place pretty good. So I'd say it's a little bit more kid friendly than the Ectomobile was. These little cables come out pretty easily, so you could put a little piece of glue on those just to keep those in place. But other than that, I think kid could play with this pretty good without losing pieces off of it. And there's the advent calendar. So thank you for watching. I'm going to do a review for the truck and the Back to the Future 2 accessory pack, where you can transform the car. And well, it basically just has Mystery Fusion, so as far as transforming the car. But then we have the advent calendar back here that covered up. It's Back to the Future 3 advent calendar. It's kind of like this one, but it has all stuff from like the Old West, 1885 in it. Well, not all, because it has like that's from 1955, that part, but it's stuff from Back to the Future 3, and you can actually transform the car to look like where it has the white wall tires and the railroad tires and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool how you can kind of keep evolving your car. That was the first one that came out, so, but it kind of goes with everything. So this is the one I would definitely get if I got one set. You got to have the DeLorean. That's just a must. So I'm going to do some other reviews too. I got some Ghostbuster stuff and A-Team, Scooby-Doo, and stuff like that. So, and I don't just do Playmobil. I do action figures, and I'm working on some catalog videos, some old Christmas catalogs, looking at toys and those, and a little bit of everything. So check out the channel, see if there's anything you like. Please subscribe and like this video, and thank you for watching.